Hello, it is 3:15. It is 11:11 when all is one. It is also Veterans Day. I did not know this, but apparently it's Veterans Day. So thank you very much to any and all veterans who are watching this vlog within the sound of my voice. Thank you very much. We appreciate everything you've done for us, and we do not repay you enough. So support your veterans. Yeah, okay. Speaking of veterans, let's talk about a subject I don't think I've spoken about before. Experience points in our game of choice, Dungeons and Dragons. I think the best explanation I've ever heard for why the tiered experience point system exists was in Heroes Unlimited. In one of the introductions of the various versions of Heroes Unlimited, when they explained why they used experience points as opposed to other ways to reward in the game, was, well, how many times have you heard in a comic book or a movie or a book or a television show or a video game the protagonist say, well, if it wasn't for my years of experience, I probably wouldn't have won that fight. And I think that's the best explanation for why, we have a tiered experience point system, level 1, level 10, level 15, is it justifies the years of experience why that 15th level whatever is way more competent than the first level whatever, even though their numbers are sort of the same. It's just the years of experience and everything he's been through. So, yeah, I mean, there might be a better one. That's the best I've ever heard. If you know of a better explanation for why experience points, comment down below. Let me know what you think. So, the basic history of this idea in our gaming subculture is, well, we want to reward them for doing shit, okay? And so they, originally it was kill stuff, get experience. Take their stuff, get experience. The take their stuff and get experience never really made sense. Like, well, I have 1,000 things. If I keep the 1,000 things, I can spend it to get stuff. Or I can throw the 1,000 things away and get 1,000 experience points. Where does that 1,000 things go? Does it I assume it's supposed to be explained like, well, you spent the 1,000 to get training and read books and whatever. So I guess that's the explanation. I mean, it doesn't go into the nebulous economy. So where does that 1,000 whatever go? And is 1,000 A versus the same as 1,000 B? I mean, but whatever. Then, as things evolved and the need of the player base got a little bit more understood, they decided to give you experience points for killing things and experience points for doing things. Now, obviously, the experience points for killing things was really, really large, and the experience points for doing things like opening a lock or climbing a wall or, God forbid, actually role-playing and interacting with the world was a little bit smaller. And that was around for a while. And the, experience points for stuff was around too, but then it slowly kind of went away. But then they figured out, well, people are sort of breaking the experience points for doing stuff system. Like this one guy's figured out that every time he locks and unlocks a padlock, he gets 1 experience point. So all he has to do is that 1,000 times while he's walking around, and he's just gotten 1,000 experience point for just locking and unlocking a padlock that he was carrying around. So let's come up with some guidelines. So they came up with some guidelines for experience points for killing things, and experience points for doing things, and experience points for gold kind of went away for a while. Though it's recently come back in some versions of the game of choice. Then, somehow, the collective unconsciousness got the idea that we should give experience points for role-playing, which is also very nebulous because what one individual thinks is good role-playing, another individual might not think is good role-playing. And you might reward player X with way more role-playing experience points than you do player Y, and player Y might think, well, I did just as much role-playing, if not more, than player X, so why is player X getting more experience points than I am? Oh, is it because you want her to suck your dick? So, I don't know how that got into the collective unconsciousness. It probably happened around the time the Forge happened and the Willis-Solomon Consulman bullshit happened, but somewhere along the way we started giving experience points for role-playing or checks or whatever you want to call them. Hero points, action points, check on your paper, bolt on your paper, notch on your paper, 10 experience points for role-playing. But there was no hard and fast rules for that at first, Later on, several individuals have attempted to try and quantify the idea of experience points for role-playing, but it's still kind of like a catch as catch can. Why did she get 20 and I only get 10? Why did he get 50 and he only got 30? We all did the same amount of role-playing. Then some genius came up with the idea, screw all that. Let's just do milestone experience. Milestone experience kind of makes the most sense, though there's definitely some disadvantages to milestone experiences. It's a much more homogenous, much more just natural evolution of the game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Just when certain things happen in the game, everybody levels. If you've achieved a certain amount of tasks or gotten a certain point in the game, you just level. Just milestones. You've hit a milestone, you level. No. So whether you killed 30 things or not, doesn't matter. You're still going to level as long as you accomplish whatever it is, the nebulous things that the adventures say you need to accomplish. I really liked milestone experience because you didn't have to worry about all that other crap, like EP for stuff. And plus, it promoted actual role-playing, actual interaction with the game, because there was no incentive to just murder hobo everything. If I murder hobo this villager, I'm going to get 10 experience points, right? But if it's just like, well, if you reach the milestone, you're going to level, sir, no matter what, Andrew. So you don't need to murder hobo everything you encounter. Because no matter what, as long as you guys all follow the plot and do the 3 or 4 things that I think you need to do to level, you're going to level. So you don't need to kill the villagers or be an asshole. So milestone really works. Then milestones went away. And we now have the choice in our current irritation of the game, or whatever the word is. You can choose to do the EP for killing things. You can choose to do the EP for killing things and the EP for money. You can choose to do just EP for money and no EP for killing things, in the hopes that that will somehow promote role-playing. I recently played in a game where the guy was doing EP for money because he thought, well, if you got experience points for money, you're less likely to murder hobo things and more likely to role-play and interact, because there are other ways to get money besides just murder hobo things. Except, of course, the only way to get money in D&D is to kill things and take their stuff. So just giving experience points for money didn't change anything, because the assholes were going to murder hobo. We're just going to still murder hobo because they knew, well, I need money to level. The only way to get money to level is to kill this guy and take his money. And then he still gave experience points for killing things. So it's like you just went back on your word. So whatever. Right now, as a game master, if you're running a level-based system, you have choices. You can just do EP for stuff. If you kill things, that's how you get experience points. Or you can do milestones. Every time you accomplish a certain amount of things, you get milestones. You could opt to use role-playing experience points, but I think role-playing experience points is kind of unfair, because it's always going to be just what you thought was the good role-playing. And other people might not agree with you. Another way we could do it would be to have the entire party decide. Everybody votes for player of the night. Everybody votes who gets, the role-playing experience points. That would be the only way it's fair, because then it's off you, the DM, and on the player's hat to decide, we're going to give the 100 extra experience points to this person. We're going to 50 point extra experience points to this person, 20 extra points to this person, 10 extra points to this person, 2 extra points to this person, or whatever. They decide who gets the role-playing experience points or anything. But milestone experience, for me, I think makes the most sense. I've done level-based lately. I've done, and then if I just want them to, hit, and you need 300 to hit second level, I'll give you 250 for killing things and 50 experience points each for role-playing, and that's 300. So basically sort of trick people to thinking they were getting experience points when I was actually doing milestone. Does the experience point for gold work? Did it ever work? Because the only way to get gold is to kill things in D&D. Or, get a job and get rewards. But usually those rewards from the NPCs is because you killed things. So to think that by doing EP for stuff is going to somehow empower more role-playing, no, it's not. People are still going to be killing things. So I don't know if there's a good or bad way to do role-playing experience points. I've never really felt it was fair. It always felt like it was just favoritism. Inevitably the cute girl got the most role-playing experience points. And I've been guilty of it too. I've used it to play favorites and, sometimes not reward the way I should have. So, whatever. The games present you with recommended ideas, but then there's a plethora of alternative ways available for each game that you can find in, expansions or online. D&D presents you with 2 or 3 different ways currently, though that might change with Tasha's. Who knows what we're going to happen next. But basically, you can give them just straight EP for killing things. You can give them EP for killing things and money, or you can just do milestones. And a lot of the modules are written where, here's the milestones, so everybody levels. I really like milestones. I think I've already said that. So there's some blabbering about experience points and sort of the logic behind why experience point systems work. Other games use other ways to reward player characters for, creation points or milestones or other ways to. But basically, no matter what, there's usually always a way to improve the character somehow in every role-playing game. So what is your favorite experience point player reward system? Comment down below. Let me know. Let's have a dialogue over what is the best way to reward player characters, whether it be build points or hero points or experience points or just here's $1, Billy. Thanks for showing up. I don't know. What do you think is the best way? Thank you for taking part in this amazing experiment that is the OGGM Adventures. If you appreciate this and want to see more, consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. It helps me know what you, my viewers, want, and it helps you know what's going on in the OGGM Adventures. And since the holidays are coming up, maybe you want to toss a coin to your Witcher and support me. Talk to you later.